the right lane to take a slight right turn.
Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, October 23rd, 2023. We're just driving from Kodak here, Spearville, over to Oak Ridge, Tennessee. So we'll take try to stay in live service here to see what we see on fall colors over in this area today. We'll be doing a lot of other driving around Knoxville and other areas surrounding the Smoky Mountains here. See how the leaves are changing. I've got a lot of good fall colors from driving to Indiana over the weekend and coming back up in the mountains, lower elevations. So I'll upload those. They'll be like 3-minute increment videos. So there's gonna be quite a few of those, probably 600 or 700 videos of those coming up. I'll be right back here in just a second. I got a customer beeping in. we're back again. Sorry about that, guys. The phone overheated, so I don't know if it was still video or not. If you don't care, let me know if it was still video during that process of shutting down. It does me that way sometimes in the mornings when it's cool like this and I got heat on. I'm not even thinking about it then I'm going to defrost. Bargain hunters, antique flea market, and mall. Yeah, this drive's gonna be about a 42-minute drive, somewhere in that area, 45 minute to 50-minute drive. But like I said, I'll do this 3 or 4 times a day, try to go live here each day and let y'all see the fall colors coming in. Yeah, and another thing too, we got back last night, little Naomi. She's got a bad runny nose and running a little bit of a fever. Seems like every time we go to Indiana, that's what happens when we come back. So she isn't feeling too good today, last night. But I'm ready to get back out in this run around a little bit in the evenings and doing some more videoing. Enjoying the Smoky Mountains here some. Doing some more videos for you guys. Editing the videos of doing things here for fall. Gotta try to get the Dollywood here sometime soon. Before these pumpkin loom nights are over with. But we need to get her out when it gets, probably tomorrow anyway, at least. Get her some that sunshine and that vitamin D on her. That's what she needs, make her better. Sunshine makes everybody better. You can get out in it. The air conditioner's freezing me to death, and it's only 42 degrees out right this second. Yeah, it was a cool, crisp morning this morning, and had some frost up in the higher elevations. So we're starting to come into eastern Knoxville here. Cut over and driving kind of slow there. The adventure at the zoo, got the boo at the zoo going on right now too. Saturday, Cupid Sabbath Holy. Yeah, it sure is a beautiful day. It's going to be nice today. TBI blue alert. I don't know what that means. y'all know what that means, just let me know. I don't have a clue. Getting closer into Knoxville here.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Sorry I'm not talking too much. I'm sitting here trying to look at my paperwork for today. Might give you some background music here in a second, so it ain't so boring. I'll try to talk over a little bit. Now you can see some of the high rises coming up here in Knoxville. Baseball up there, World's Fair State Park. Road's a little rough through here. Very, very bouncy right through this section here, but once you get through this, it's a little better.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Yeah, heading to Oak Ridge, Tennessee over here. Got about 40 minutes left here still yet. Get over, you can see some trees, a little better on the trees anyway. See what it looks like in the Oak Ridge area.
In 10 miles, take exit 376 to merge on I-140 east toward Oak Ridge.
Maybe get a little better on the bouncing here. heading north there. I got a call, I'll beep it in. Be right back. Okay, we're back again. Sorry, guys. I hate doing it that way, but I just figured I'd keep doing this live streams like this during my work day. Got to do something. Okay, we're back again. Sorry. I don't know why that did that. That was kind of weird. But yeah, I hate doing you guys that way, but I figured I can at least keep the live streams going as I'm driving around. So who's watching out there? Where are you from?
In 2 miles, take exit 376 to merge onto I-140 East toward Oak Ridge.
I like that Airstream camper in front of me, Silver Bullet. Sorry guys, I was trying to watch our church from last night, but we missed it.
Come on, somebody. That don't mean that you start making these and then Acts 2, 1-4 says it was made, and when the day of Pentecost was fulfilled, they were all reported one place.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 376 to merge onto I-140 East toward Oak Ridge.
Where they were sitting. And there are literally golden tongues like
Get over here at the last second here.
and they sat on each of them, and they were all filled with water. And began to speak.
Take the exit, then keep right toward Oak Ridge. Keep right toward Oak Ridge and State Route 162
Coming
north.
up on the Watchman, it is day 13 of Israel's war with Hamas terrorists in Gaza, and Amir Sarfati of Behold Israel is here with a breaking Bible prophecy update. That's next.
Listen to the Bible prophecy update here as we're driving. Now we're on Interstate 140, heading towards the Oak Ridge here.
And welcome to the Watchman, day 13 of the Israel-Hamas war. And before we go to our good friend Amir Sarfati of Behold Israel, here is a quick overview of the state of play right now on the ground in Israel and Gaza. Number one, we are still awaiting that coming Israeli ground invasion of Gaza. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said today that the invasion of Gaza is imminent. He was down around the Israel-Gaza border encouraging IDF troops who are ready and poised to go in and to crush Hamas
Use the left 2 lanes to
decisively
continue
once
onto
and
Palace
for all.
Parkway.
Two, we've got the Gaza front, but remember folks, we're very closely watching the northern front as well, and fire continues between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah terrorists to the north as well. Hezbollah continues
You all need to be praying for this
fire
war.
anti-tank missiles into northern Israel. We've got sirens going off now simultaneously, not only in the Israeli communities around the Gaza Strip, but also in the communities in northern Israel as well. Beautiful communities like Kiryat Shimona, where I've spent a good deal of time. And the big question is, and we'll get into this with Amir, is how long can Israel hold off from responding very forcefully against Hezbollah as well? And is the Biden administration restraining Israel on that front? another number to consider right now in the West Bank. On the Watchman, we call it Judea and Samaria because that's what the Bible calls it. It is the biblical heartland. The world knows it as the West Bank. Nevertheless, right now, as of now, Israeli security forces have arrested at least 500 Hamas-linked operatives in the West Bank, as well as violence is starting to rise there. And this is no surprise. If you watch this show on a regular basis, you know that the Iranian regime over the past several months has been trying to stir things up in Judea and Samaria and create another
Jordan Valley Road
as well. Another number to
That's
consider, a tragic
scenic
number.
route to take there too.
Some 300,000 Israelis have now been displaced by the fighting, not only in the communities around southern Israel, but as we mentioned, in northern Israel as well, near the Lebanon border. Remember, folks, some 28 Israeli communities in northern Israel have been evacuated. And look, a major war with Hezbollah hasn't even begun yet, but this is certainly a precautionary measure by the Israel Defense Forces. And then we have the aftermath of yesterday's visit by President Biden to Israel. Now, he dubbed this as a solidarity visit to Israel, and it came in the wake of the controversy over the bombing of this hospital in Gaza City. Now, the world and Hamas howled and piled on Israel and unjustly and incorrectly accused Israel of bombing this hospital. As we shared on yesterday's Watchman Newscast live stream, that was anything but the case. It was a misfired Palestinian Islamic Jihad rocket which caused the explosion.
Oh, I love this time of the year here too. I do. It's fall time's awesome.
500 people, but that doesn't seem to matter very much to the world because the world.
But I love
and
my
I'm talking
summertime. I
about,
do.
in particular, the Muslim streets.
I think that's my
places
favorite
like
time here is the
Turkey,
summertime.
Jordan,
I mean, I love
Iraq,
Christmas,
Yemen, and
but I just don't like the coldness that
continues
comes with
to
it.
howl and gnash its teeth and blame Israel for the bombing, although video, still images, and audio captured by Hamas members prove that Israel had nothing whatsoever to do with this bombing. And that also hasn't stopped the madness on American college campuses.
That's my breakfast for
Pro-Hamas,
today.
anti-Israel,
Faith
anti-Semitic
Promise
venom.
Church right there,
We'll address
guys.
that
That's a
later
good
in
church
the
to go
show
to if
as
y'all
well.
live down
But
this
first,
way.
before we get to Amir, I want to go to a quick soundbite, two soundbites.
They speak a lot on
President
Revelations.
Biden first, and then Prime Minister Netanyahu
End
second,
time prophecy.
after their meeting yesterday. And the Biden administration's plans to supply Palestinians with $100 million in aid. Do you think this is a good idea? Take a look.
Discovered I got a flat tire and no one can help. It pays to be prepared. Keep this in your glove box. This thing is
Today, I'm also announcing $100 million in new U.S. funding for humanitarian assistance, both Gaza and the West Bank. This money will support more than 1
We don't
million
even have the money to
displaced
give
and
them.
conflict-affected
We're
Palestinians,
going to be in a
including
mess here on November 2nd.
emergency needs in Gaza.
Folks, here's the problem with that. Any money, any aid, any supplies that go into Gaza must first go through Hamas, which means Hamas will very likely commandeer that $100 million worth of aid supplies going into Gaza. And by the way, earlier this week, the UN confirmed that Hamas had essentially seized UN aid that was going into Gaza as well. This is the MO of Hamas, folks. This is how it goes in Gaza. Hamas rules the Gaza Strip with an iron fist.
Continue on to
Now,
Oak
but
Ridge
not much
Highway.
longer.
I'm going to get
In the
ready to pull
meantime,
over, guys,
Prime
get some
Minister
gas.
Netanyahu gets, needless to say, how this all works. Here's what he said about this aid plan.
בעניין החטופים, העברתי בפני הנשיא ביידן 3 דברים.
In
ראשית,
1.9
דרשתי את
miles,
החזרת
left
החטופים,
onto South Illinois
ואנחנו
Avenue.
עובדים יחד להחזרתם
So you'll have a
דרך
few minutes at the gas station looking
Shanit.
around. I'm sorry.
עד להשבתם. אנחנו דורשים ביקורים של נציגי הצלב האדום אצל חטופינו. שלישית, לא נאפשר סיוע הומניטרי של מזון ותרופות משטחנו לרצועת עזה.
No aid through Israel, and why would he? Why would Prime Minister Netanyahu allow that when rockets continue to fall on Israel right now from Gaza? And while at least, probably more, 200 Israeli civilians, the women, children, the elderly, are still held in the clutches, who've been dragged to the bowels of hell in tunnels beneath Gaza right now as the hostage crisis continues. So no, there should certainly be no aid flowing from Israel into Gaza. Joining us now, and by the way, prophetic implication to all of this? We'd love to get your comments here on the channel. If this is your first time joining us, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you get alerts every time a new video is posted. But leave your comments here. We'd love to hear what you think. And right now, we are joined by our good friend, the one and only Amir Tsarfati, coming to us from Israel. Folks, if you have not subscribed to the Behold Israel YouTube channel, do so right now, and also follow Amir every day on Telegram. You are getting the best updates you will get anywhere on his Telegram channel. Amir, always great to see you, my friend. I wish it was under better circumstances. First thing, how are you doing? How is your family doing right now?
Thank you, Eric. It's always good to be with you. I'm doing very well, concerning under these circumstances. I wish it wasn't so. But I've got a daughter in the military, and then, of course, the rest of the family is back home. And we lived the war through the proximity of our house to the northernmost air base of Israel. So 24/7, the takeoffs and landings of the F-16s. And of course, we did have our share of sirens, of air raid sirens, first from rockets from Gaza that came all the way towards Haifa, and others from a false alarm of some penetration of some drones from Lebanon. So we feel the war, but thankfully it's not as bad as the northern border or the southern one.
Yes, and you've been every day on your Telegram channel, Amir, and YouTube, and Twitter, and beyond. You've been giving breaking updates for everyone. I read one of your updates the other day. Very interesting analysis. You said that you believe, and look, Iran has this ring of fire of proxies that surround Israel on all sides, but you believe that Hamas may have acted ahead of schedule. The grand plan for the mullahs in Tehran was to have all the proxies act at once and overwhelm Israel. Did Hamas get ahead of schedule on October 7th? As lethal as it was, it could have been worse.
Absolutely. 6 months ago, it was the beginning of April that I posted on Telegram, and also I think it was on Facebook as well, an article that was written by one of the professors in Israel Bar-Ilan University, who is an expert for Islam and the Arab world. He talked to one of his sources who lives in London, but he has connections with Iran and Iraq. And what he was told then is that the grand plan of the Ayatollahs is that there is going to be a simultaneous attack from the north, from the northeast, from the south on the side of Gaza, and from Yemen, from the side of the Red Sea. All of that simultaneously, first with drones and rockets, then with ground invasion. Israeli border settlements will be taken over. People will be captured as hostages, kidnapped into enemy's territory, and it'll take Israel days to recover. And by then, maybe those Muslim enemies will be able to take over. That was the plan. And the Iranians train Hamas, they fund Hamas, but they are not sitting there with them every day on every detail. I think Hamas saw an opportunity with that music festival, and with the fact that this is the last day of a festival, it was a Sabbath, and they thought, why don't we do it? Why don't we take the glory to ourselves? And we at least can feel that we did our share in this grand plan. Well, what they actually did is now they're causing Israel to completely annihilate Hamas, and Israel is on its highest alert on all of the rest of the borders. So in a way, things could have been 10 times worse if the original plot would have been executed.
Amir, I shudder to think what may have been, as horrible as this was, the deadliest day for the Jewish people
in 1.5 miles, keep left onto South Illinois Avenue.
You talked about the threats to the north and the northeast. I'm thinking Lebanon, I'm thinking Syria, the Iranian regime, and Hezbollah. The talk right now, and everyone's eyes are kind of focused on the northern front. Do you see this becoming eventually a multi-front war, in particular if Israel is ready to deal that decisive existential blow against Hamas in Gaza?
I'll give you a little secret. The first hour of the war, Israel actually thought that the
Dollars ain't changed too much right here in this area.
Gaza
In this
border
area
is a
where I'm in right
distraction
now.
for the major thing that is about to
So
start.
it's going to
in
get
the north.
better
So most of
as
our
days go here. So we're going to have a lot of videos bringing it to you.
And then when we realized there's nothing in the north, they were transferred immediately down south. But you need to understand that that's our major concern. If Hamas has, I don't know, 16,000 rockets, Hezbollah has 250,000 rockets. If Hamas has the Nukhba elite forces of, I don't know,
Use
2,000.
the left 2 lanes to keep left onto South Illinois Avenue.
Rad one figure, Hezbollah has many drones and precise weapons, which is those rockets that can hit the target precisely, and they're not dumb ones. And that's what Israel is fearing. So,
In 4.8 miles,
and as long
turn
as we
left onto
fight in
Orange Turnpike.
Gaza, we prefer not to engage in war with Hezbollah. But make no mistake, both Hezbollah in the north, in Lebanon, and by the way, it's not only Hezbollah, there's Hamas in Lebanon as well. And today, at least 20 rockets were fired by Hamas in Lebanon, and Hezbollah kind of allowed them to do that. Because quite a few Palestinians live in refugee camps in Lebanon. But what we also have here is the Iranian. Yeah,
Hello.
Hello, this is the appliance service calling back. We had a missed call.
Yeah, how you doing? My name's Rusty Hutchison. I've got a GE over-under that it's not going into the spin cycle. I think it just may be the belt, but I can't fool with it anymore. So.
Okay. Is it a front loader or top loader?
It's the top load. Top load. You know, it's got the dryer on top of it.
Okay. Is it draining the water out?
Yeah, it's draining the water out. It's just not going in, and I can hear the motor. I feel like the motor's running. I don't think it's that little bypass switch that's over on the right.
Yeah.
I've had that before on another model, an older model, and took that thing out, and everything was fine. But I think it feels like, because I'm getting some vibration when it goes into the spin cycle. Like I said, it's draining everything, and it just won't. It's still leaving it just all the clothes soaking wet. So.
Now we finally made it over here in Oak Ridge. Got the Comfort Inn and Suites over here. Looks like a newer motel, or the remodeling of one over there. Got Hobby Lobby off to the left. Got a lot of nail salons right here in this area for some reason. I guess everybody likes to get their nails done. Panda Express, Subway, Cash, Advance, TJ Maxx, Belk, JCPenney's, Dick's, Bill's, Ross, Chick-fil-A, Waffle House, Buddy's Barbecue,
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
IHOP, Taco Bell, Go's Gym, Books A Million. A lot of business here to mention off. Freddy's, Ice Cream and Burgers, Big Lots. A lot of apartments going up, condos here. You got the Doubletree by Wyndham. You got the Hampton Inn over to the left. Smoothie King and Wingstop. Shoney's. Miles Road's a little bumpy.
At the next light, turn left.
Man, this road's bad here.
At the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn onto Oak Ridge Turnpike. Turn left.
Finally get to go.
In 4.5 miles, turn right onto Wisconsin Avenue.
Got about 10 more minutes left in this.
This is True News, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, Almighty God. I'm Rick Wiles. Today is Thursday, October 19, 2023. The Chinese PLA Navy has deployed warships in the Middle East. Meanwhile, the Russian Air Force intercepted 3 British Royal Air Force aircraft over the Black Sea. This is True News, your source for the most comprehensive news and analysis about World War III. Doc Burkhart is here with me. Let's start with the South China Morning Post newspaper in Hong Kong. This is today. Up to 6 Chinese warships present in Middle East over the past week.
You better reiterate that headline there, Rick. Chinese warships.
Chinese warships have been moved to the Middle East.
Yes. So now...
Not the South China Sea.
Right.
They're at the Middle East preparing for World War III to be fought at Israel, Egypt, Lebanon, Syria. This thing is going hot. And this is a story I don't think
That's not good, guys.
in the USA knows about.
No.
It shocked me about 2 hours ago when I found it. I had the same reaction, Doc. I had to look at the headline a couple times. Like, am I reading this correctly? China has moved warships to the Middle East? Let's take a look at what the South China Morning Post has reported.
According to the South China Morning Post, Rick, up to 6 Chinese warships have been operating in the Middle East over the past week. That's according to reports. The 44th Naval Escort Task Force has been involved in what they say are routine operations in the area since May, and last week spent several days on a visit to Oman, including a joint exercise with the country's Navy, and that's according to the Chinese Defense Ministry website. The task force left the capital of Muscat on Saturday en route for an unspecified destination, state media reported. Now, during the visit, Chinese commanders met Omani military officials and visited military institutions, while sailors from both countries toured each other's ships. They also organized a basketball game, and that's according to the state news agency Xinhua.
Doc, Ray Dalio is a billionaire investor, has a large following, well-respected. I don't agree with him on a lot of his political issues, but I do pay attention to him. And he put out a statement that China, the United States, and Russia are on the edge of a red-hot war. This is from a billionaire. And so he's warning his friends on Wall Street. This thing is coming apart really fast. A lot faster than most people realize.
So how is Ray Dalio responding to this? I mean, a billionaire wants to keep his billions.
Yes.
So what strategy does he have in place?
I don't know. He didn't place it in the article. But he must be wondering, if I move my wealth after the war, will it even be there?
Yeah.
And where do you move it to? I mean,
where do you move it? But after you moved it,
Bitcoin.
will the money system even exist? This is why this is why people are putting, in times like this, people put their wealth into physical assets like gold, precious metals, land, things that you can hold on to, things that you can touch, physical things. That's where the smart money is going right now, and which is why we've recommended that our audience take a serious look at Genesis Gold Group, because they are helping people move their individual retirement accounts into gold. You can always move it back later if you want to.
Right.
But for right now, it's a secure place to have your retirement in gold. And you need a company like Genesis Gold Group to carry out the process.
A lot of people don't know you can actually take your IRA and convert it into a gold IRA.
Yes, you can direct it yourself. You don't have to have a stockbroker manage your retirement, because stockbrokers will not invest in gold. There's no money in it for it.
They're stockbrokers.
They're stockbrokers. They want to sell stock. But anyhow, Ray Dalio, a prominent, well-known billionaire, is saying today, World War III is going red hot, and it's going to be with China, Russia, and the United States. So, Doc, we've reached a point where Wall Street billionaires are now saying World War III.
Yes, the financial guys are talking about World War III.
So that's how fast this is moving. And again, I encourage you, food. 2 things that you have to survive: food and water. Stockpile food. Do what you can do right now. This is World War III. Another story is Vestia out of Moscow. 3 UK Air Force aircraft approached the borders of the Russian Federation in the Black Sea today.
And so we see this pattern again and again. Whenever their attention's rising, different militaries test the boundaries.
Testing the borders.
Yes.
How close can we get? They're looking for a reaction. Russia does it to us. They fly down over the North Pole, come down along the Alaskan border. What are they looking for? How soon, how quick will the U.S. Air Force respond? So Great Britain today was testing the Russian Air Force. How close can we get to your borders?
Wisconsin Avenue.
When will you respond? What type of response will you give to us approaching your borders? So, Doc, you've got the story.
Yes, well, the Russian
onto
Su-27
Drive.
aircraft of the Russian
Got some
Air
fog
Force
colors here.
stopped the violation of the state
Not
border
too
by
much, but we
British
got
Air
some
Force
going on.
aircraft over the Black Sea.
A lot of leaves on the
This
ground.
was announced on October 19th by the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation. 3 air targets that were approaching the border of the Russian Federation were spotted by Russian airspace control systems. The military department said to identify air targets and prevent the violation of the state border of the Russian Federation, a pair of Su-27 fighters from the air defense forces were on duty, and they were lifted into the air. This is another story you're not going to see on